All right, so we have Cathy, who's running for the positions of Secretary, IVP, and PR, Public Relations. So you have 5 minutes for your first speech, and you can just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Hello, my name is Cathy Hoang, and I'm currently a freshman here at UW-Madison. I am currently considered undecided, but I applied to the School of Business for financing this past March, and hopefully I'll get accepted. For the fall semester, my tentative plan is to have 17 credits for the classes. I think this will be manageable for me as I took 17 credits this past fall semester and 16 credits this spring semester. Regardless of my credits, I was still able to find time to be active in VSA, both as a general member and as an intern. To me, VSA means a family that I can rely on within the Madison community. Being away from home and away from people I knew, I wanted to find a close-knit community where I could find people who share similar yet different backgrounds as me. VSA being so culturally diverse and supportive of one another, I knew that this was the community that I wanted to be a part of. Thanks to all the programming that the executive board did, I was able to go alongside and learn from some of the most amazing people in this community. I am running primarily for the position of secretary, and I believe that many of my experiences throughout this past year make me the best candidate for this position. Looking back, I may not have been as involved as I would like to have been on campus, but that's not always a bad thing. I thoroughly enjoyed all of the experience that I had and was able to adjust to student life adequately. Throughout the year, I've been not committed to too many student organizations, as I've been mainly focusing on BSA because I love it so much and acclimating to my studies. In fact, I believe that I attended all, if not most, BSA events both semesters. I participated in BSA through the ACE program, the internship program, and being in the performance groups both semesters. I enjoy being active in VSA because to me, it's family I can rely on this campus. Outside of VSA, about once a month, I go back to my Vietnamese church in Milwaukee for Tini Tante, which is a Vietnamese youth group, to mentor and teach the kids there. I give them lessons about the organization or about the faith as a whole. From this experience, I was able to gain patience and the ability to collaborate with other mentors in creating lesson plans for the kids remotely, as many of the other mentors live in the greater Milwaukee area. This is a useful skill to have as an e-board member because e-board meetings are usually once a week, so being able to communicate and collaborate without being face-to-face is an extremely important skill to have. While it's not much, this past year I also volunteered for local organizations alongside members of my scholarship program. For our spring semester, we went to a multicultural Catholic center to serve dinner to those that needed it. This experience really enriched me in how I was able to connect with community members outside of the university and understand new perspectives on life. To be connected with not only those within a campus community, but also those outside of a campus is important as we can expand our events to those in the surrounding Madison community. I want to run for the position of secretary because I want to be able to give back to the community that treated me so well my freshman year. I'm a good listener and a fast typer, 90 words per minute, so you already know that I'll be able to keep up with the meeting notes. Other than that, I am also able to support my fellow board members with my ideas and be able to help them when they are busy. I will use my position as secretary to show leadership within VSA through promoting the internship program that I was so avidly a part of, and by helping those who are interested in future e-board positions to understand the expectations and roles of being secretary. I can exceed the position's expectations by planning more events alongside e-board members that I lead, rather than simply booking rooms and taking meeting notes. Being a secretary to me does not mean confining myself to doing only tasks like booking rooms and taking meeting notes, but the opportunity to provide VSA with anything that's wanted and needed for VSA to grow. I want to possibly provide more culturally informative events for our community next year, especially because the semester was cut short and we were not able to experience the full extent of the current eBoards programming. In addition, I think that having events like the barbecue last semester was a good event to get to know others in VSA, as it was a fun and casual setting. Having more outdoor events like this will allow new members of VSA to feel more at ease because of how casual it is, helping them integrate into our community better. Overall, I believe that I am the best candidate for this position of secretary, not only because of my experiences, but also because of my dedication and aspirations for VSA. I believe that I will be able to work alongside fellow e-board members to provide the best experience for our community in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Cathy. I'm just going to ask you a few questions about the secretary position. So one of the main responsibilities as secretary is to maintain effective communication between e-board members. What sort of plan or techniques will you use to kind of promote effective communication amongst e-board members?
So being an intern the past 2 semesters, I was able to see how this year's eBoard was run and how eBoard was communicating, and it was mostly through Slack, which is a really good tool to just have everyone update their projects and stuff. So I think I would still continue to use Slack, but also like other messaging apps too, because sometimes people don't check Slack because it's just a lot of work to find the app and then find like the certain channel you're in. So I think having not only Slack but also like messenger groups would be useful in maintaining relations between e-board members and communication.
Um, yeah. So we use Slack and Google Drive often to communicate and keep track of documents. How proficient would you say you are at these services? And if you happen to not be proficient, would you be willing to learn?
Um, with Google Drive, I have a lot of usage in past experience from that because of high school. With Slack, I have used it in the past for other organizations as well. So I'm not completely adept at it, but I'm willing to learn how to use it more.
Thank you. How well are you at handling various tasks at one time?
I would like to say that I'm a pretty good multitasker, um, mostly because like with schoolwork and then like extracurriculars, it's a lot to handle. Um, Even though I didn't do too much during college, my college semesters, within high school, I had a lot of student organizations. I was in 7 or 8 of them, but I still maintained good academic standing. So I think being able to be a part of like so many things at once and get still multitask it all is something that I am good at.
Could you describe for me your note-taking process?
Um, for what situation would you say?
Let's just say for school, like you're transcribing information from lectures down. How would you go about it?
Um, well, depending on the class, sometimes like for my chemistry class, I would write everything that the teacher writes down because he writes all of his notes on the screen for us. But for other classes where it's like presentations, I mostly just take down the main ideas and the bullet points so that when I look back at it, I'm not overwhelmed with information, but I still have the main idea that's there.
All right. And last question is, um, let's say you face a situation where the location that you originally reserved has been booked, or that you wanted to reserve has been booked, and how would you go about resolving this room reservation issue?
Um, I'd look into other locations because I know like this past year, a lot of times the MSc was booked, so we had to go into the humanities building a lot. So I'd probably just look into other options and then see what's available and what has a space that's big enough for general body meetings.
All right, awesome. Thank you. So you can just go forward with your next speech if for IVP. And yeah, just let me know when you're ready again.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm also running for the position of IVP. I was able to understand this position thoroughly throughout the past year as an IVP intern in the fall. As IVP, I will do my best to provide a welcoming environment to all members and it will help maintain internal relations. I've been told in the past by close friends I'm good at sensing someone's personality and knowing the compatibility with someone. With this, I believe I will be able to create a suitable ACE pair this upcoming semester. And I plan on improving member relations this fall semester by hosting several events to give members more opportunities to bond with each other. An idea that I have would be potentially an outdoors game night where we could host activities that require large spaces to play. As IVP, I also want to help improve relations with upperclass members, and this can be relieved by having more upperclassmen targeted events where it's more than just an event that you're getting to know each other, but rather a place to reconnect. Overall, my vision for IVP is not limited to only the IVP position, but as any board member in general.
And then Siki will be asking you a few questions on behalf of her position.
So the first question is, how do you plan to create a welcoming environment for potential new members? And what is your comfort level in talking to these newcomers?
One of my plans would be to have a lot of events in the beginning of the semester, specifically within the first month of school, because that's when you really get to know each of the new members the most before you make the ACE pairs. So like last semester, we had a lot of study jams and game nights. So I think we have a lot of those, but also a lot of other events where it's not just sitting in a small room. So like I mentioned earlier, possibly an outdoor games night. That would be, or a movie night possibly. That would be a lot of fun for new members to join. Um, what was the second part of the question?
What is your comfort level in talking to like new members?
I think I would be pretty comfortable with talking to new members, especially because this past year, most of VSA were like people I didn't know, but I got to know everyone really well throughout the year. So I think meeting new people would not be a problem for me.
So you kind of talked about this before, but how will you build a strong ACE program while also making sure you include members who may not be in the ACE program?
So like I mentioned, I try to have like more upperclassmen targeted events specifically for older members. But for ACE program, we can have more like other than just ACE week, more competition stuff between ACE pairs and ACE lineages so that upperclassmen have a chance to connect with their younger lineages.
So you were talking about the first month when people are coming back to campus to hold events. So keeping that in mind, what are some social events that you plan to have both ACE and non-ACE related if you were to become IVP?
Within the first month.
Or just in general, like what are some social events that you hope to plan if you were to become IVP, both like ACE and non-ACE related?
So I think that a movie night would be fun because then you can go with your ACE peer or just anyone in general. That would be a good thing for general body members. For ACE peers and ACE lineages, I think having more things that are in relation to like competitions because a lot of people feel competitive in regards to the lineages. I feel like having competition type events would be more suitable for ACE events. Yeah.
So how will you engage older members and get them to be more involved in VSA? And then how comfortable are you reaching out to them?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
So how will you engage older members and get them to be more involved in VSA? And then how comfortable are you reaching out to these older members?
I plan to engage older members by individually reaching out to them and then also having more like upperclassmen events, like maybe a workshop that some upperclassmen that I can reach out to can host about what you should do to get on track to graduate or something like that, something that can help upperclassmen specifically. Yeah, and reaching out to them, I think it would not be that bad. I'd like to think that I know most of the upperclassmen for next year at least, and I think reaching out to them would only be a matter of a few texts.
So this is just a scenario, and I just want you to say like how you would react to it. So a member has approached you with a complaint about VSA events feeling too exclusive or cliquey. What would you do in this situation?
I guess we could have more events where you try to like break up those cliques. So like group breakout events or like GBMs. Such as like the one where we talked about our Asian identity, where you like assign people to, or not assign, but have random groups so that people can get to know each other. And it's not exactly cliquey, at least during those events.
So that was the last question. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Cathy, and then if you want to just give your last speech for your last position, and then I'll ask you a few questions.
Okay.
And
Do I
just let me know when you're ready. Yeah.
I'm ready. This past semester, you might have seen some of my witty posts for BSA Merge or Dead as a PR intern. As PR, I can help promote future events to help with member retention and active participation by providing my ideas to the rest of eBoard. Similar to my vision as IVP, I continue to want to help to create a place for BSA members to connect and reconnect, regardless of where each member is in the college career. Individual outreach to try to get all members to attend events is something that I recognize as part of this position. And I believe that I will be able to encourage member activity through personalized messages and by having continuous relations with each member. Overall, I believe that I'm a suitable candidate for the PR position. Thank you.
Thank you, Cathy. So could you describe to me how you organize your day-to-day tasks and assignments?
On a day-to-day, depending how much I have to do that day, I will either write all my assignments down and have like a checklist of what I need to do and what I need to do by when. And sometimes for like bigger events, I'll put them in my planner so that I can look at it and organize my other events around them.
How comfortable are you with communicating with other members, especially those who you do not know too well?
I enjoy meeting new people, so I'm pretty comfortable with meeting new members that I'm not particularly close with because I can always get closer to someone. And I think as a PR chair, I think that would be something that I would be able to do with ease.
What is your experience and proficiency with social media and Facebook?
Mm, in general, my proficiency is at least average, if anything. Um, with Facebook, I have not used it too much to create events and stuff, but as a PR intern, I have learned how to create posts and how to create event pages. So as a PR chair, I think that I would be able to manage well.
What are some new and creative social media campaigns or ideas would you want to implement as PR chair?
Mm, as PR chair, a social media campaign. Mm,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but I would like to promote things like our collective philanthropy project through social media more because the only times that we really mention it that much through our social media is when we have a fundraiser. So I think having more outreach with that would be a good idea.
Okay. And then you are asked to promote multiple events and make posts within the same week. How would you handle this situation?
Mm, um, depending, first of all, I'd schedule when I have to make each post by and when I have to post it by. And if I don't believe that I can finish that by myself, then I will reach out to my fellow board members to potentially help me. Um, especially if it's like an exam week or something where I'm particularly busy. But if I have the abilities to do it, I will do it.
All right, awesome. So that was the last question.